Hello, I'm Beth the Builder, and this week I'm building a plant shelf. So obviously this is a super beginner thing, building a shelf, but you know, if you think you're too good for that or you don't want to know, just keep walking, keep moving. But I think it's a super simple DIY thing, and everyone's going to need a shelf or want to know how to build a shelf in their life. So I feel like it's applicable to what I'm doing. I have a lot of plants right now because I am propagating a golden pothos I have. I'm growing some plants from seed and I've been gifted some plants. It's weird how quickly you can just accumulate them when you're kind of like intrigued and interested in learning about indoor plants and stuff like that. So I'm gonna use a bunch of weird ends from other projects, like scrap pieces of things to make it kind of rustic. You know, I'm all about like recycling and using the things you've got. That's what I'm gonna do. So let's do it. Okay, so for this shelf build, literally all you need is, you know, a hammer, some nails, wood glue, and your wood. I cut all of my wood to length and then I glued it together. And it does help to have clamps for wood glue, but also if you just hold it in place for a little while, it will start to dry. And then you can totally get away with not using clamps. Obviously, yeah, it's gonna be better if you have clamps to clamp that thing together, but you do not have to because wood glue is pretty efficient. You can get any wood glue at any hardware store. You can get it at Walmart, Target, etc. So I do not have an opinion about what the best wood glue is. I've used a few different brands and they all seem fine, honestly. And for this, you can really get away with just using wood glue to tack this shelf together because, you know, mine's literally going to be supported by part of a windowsill. I'm going to put a brace underneath it. It's literally just holding up some pots. So for a really simple shelf, you don't need it to be like, you know, a load-bearing shelf. But I would usually put finishing nails tacked diagonally between one board to the other. But to keep this super simple for people, I did not do that. Once you have your whole shelf tacked together with glue or nails or whatever you want to do, you're probably going to want to sand it, although you might be able to get away without doing so if you have super nice wood and maybe just some light sanding potentially. So I brought my shelf outside and sanded it, and then I stained it, which also you don't have to do. You could paint it, you could leave it raw, you can do whatever you want with your shelf. Okay, so this is where my plant shelf is gonna go. So I opted to do a really simple low profile. This is just a scrap piece of wood that is gonna go underneath here. So I'm gonna nail this into my window trim, and then I'm gonna put my shelf on and then put some nails diagonally up into it and a couple probably from the top down. So I thought about doing a 45-degree angle wooden brace, but I want to keep it really low profile over here because the only thing this is doing is just giving me more surface area to put plants on in my super sunny porch here. And I want to be able to like take it off and it be like not like have like 25 holes everywhere and not giant holes. So I'm opting to do some really small finishing nails, but you can use whatever you want. You can also go buy L support brackets that are for shelves. You can get them at any hardware store, Walmart, Target, wherever. And they are L's or triangles, but they're for shelving and bracing things. So that's a super simple way of hanging a very basic shelf that you have made. That is when a level is gonna come in handy because although I'm totally for wigging it, that is when it just makes it looks a little bit cleaner when that thing is actually level with to your eyeballs. But you do whatever you want to do. So I drilled some pilot holes for my nails. It's not a necessity. You can get away with just hammering them in. You don't need to drill pilot holes for them, but I found it to be pretty useful, especially when you're using really small nails. And it just makes things a little bit faster and cleaner and stuff. You do not have to do this. You keep it as simple and basic as you want. If you were getting L brackets, you would screw them into the wall and then you'd put your shelf on them and then you'd probably screw them into your shelf. So this DIY project involved a hammer, nails, wood glue, and some wood. And I guess a saw if you needed to cut your wood. But you could also have bought it or gotten it the actual length. Or maybe you can like karate chop it in half. I don't know. That'd be badass. But anyway, we're gonna get this installed, put my plants on it, and hopefully, you know, it doesn't fall down. So, let's do it. Look, a shelf for plants. So cute. I like it. I like the rustic wood feel of it. I think it's charming. It's relatively level. My windowsill is not level, so you know, that's not on me. And then I cracked this corner over here while I was nailing it because this piece of wood on the end is slightly thinner than the rest of it, so it just went slightly, but it doesn't matter. It's just a shelf for plants. And it's braced on like every piece along the sill, so I'm not worried about it. But that is a con of only using wood glue, okay? It's just slightly weaker. All right, again, this is a super simple project, okay? It's not for you master carpenters, okay? I don't wanna hear about it. This is for beginner DIY people. You just need like a hammer and nails, and then go get some wood glue. Very, very simple. You can buy some brackets, and then you can say to your friends, I made that shelf over there, and they'll be like, whoa. I hope this was helpful. I'll probably do more really, really simple DIYs and projects because I think that anybody can do them, and more people should try and build things and use their hands because it is super rewarding, and it's a lot cheaper than, you know, buying a new thing every time that you need a simple project. Or paying someone to do it for you. Anybody can use a hammer and nails and a drill, a simple drill. Anybody can check, you know, if things are level. It's very, ooh, the bubble needs to be in the middle. It's super simple. So I think more people should be, you know, encouraged to try. And even if it's like the jankiest shelf ever, you'll have learned something. And then you can go forward and be like, I think I could build a better shelf. The way that you get better at this stuff is literally just like trying and doing that thing and then doing it again and figuring it out. And the first time when you like kind of fuck it up, like you'll have learned something and then you'll know how to do it better the next time. So I'm literally doing that right now. I have built a 3-legged angular plant stand and it's a little rough. It holds the plant. I put a picture of it on my Instagram if you want to check that out. But I kind of feel like that's like take one and I'm like, I can do better. So I wanted to challenge myself to do a lot of angle cuts and put it together and get better at that stuff because I'm just not very experienced at it. Cutting stuff just straight is so much simpler. It is a genuine like carpentry skill to cut things at angles and get them to fit together like perfectly. It's very, very impressive. I mean, I'm impressed by it and more people should be, but that's just a challenge that I put to myself that I was like, I know I can do this. I just have to like do it enough times and then I'll learn to do it better. But that's like with all this stuff, like everybody has to start from somewhere and do a simple thing. And then after that, they'll be like, I can do more simple things. I can do more. I can accumulate more skills of how to do this shit. And like, it's so, so rewarding. So don't be intimidated and don't let anybody like shame you for, you know, building a little shelf or not knowing how to build a little shelf. Like everyone has to start somewhere. You know what to do. Check all of the places. I freaking appreciate the hell out of everybody subscribing right now. 200 subscribers! Woo! I started a Tumblr. I got Instagram, Pinterest. You know, you can find all the places in the description below. I have new videos every Friday, and thanks for watching.